Becoming an entrepreneur or a business leader means going through many hardships, leading to enlightening situations. That's why we've chatted with the most accomplished people out there to motivate you with their tips, tricks, and success stories through our 23 Questions with Heartwork, the CIS edition.
Hey, Amy.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
All is good?
Good, alhamdulillah.
Are you ready for the 23 questions?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you today?
I am incredibly excited to be at the Creative Summit. It's been many years since I've been here, and I am so impressed by how it's grown, how impressive the lineup is. It's been a wonderful experience with so much great energy.
Perfect. Describe yourself in a hashtag.
Unhinged.
Woman power?
Okay, women power. We'll do woman power, but really just hashtag unhinged.
Okay. What's the one thing people don't know about you?
What's the one thing that people don't know about me? Is that, what's the one thing? There's so much people don't know about me. Can I give a long answer instead of saying one thing? Okay, I think when you put yourself out there a lot, I think people see your social media persona, and they don't always realize that that's such a small percentage of the story. I think that applies to all of us though.
Okay. What's the one thing you like the best about your job?
The freedom to dream as big as I like.
Okay, and what's the least thing you like about your job?
The fact that at the end of the day it all rests on my shoulders.
Okay. Pre-COVID or post-COVID work life?
Post-COVID for sure. Post-COVID.
Why?
So because I have post-COVID allowed me to learn that if I take time for myself outside of the office, life does go on.
Interesting. What you didn't see coming along your journey?
Everything along my journey I didn't see coming. We have survived 2 revolutions, a devaluation, and a pandemic. But every single one of them, although they seemed devastating at the time, they really were the making of us.
Okay. How do you adapt to change?
I will say this, that's one of the things that we have been the best at. There's a saying within my family and within the business that as long as you wake up in the morning and alhamdulillah, Rabbina has given you your health, then anything is possible. You just have to keep going and keep rolling with the punches.
Nice. What didn't you see coming during your business journey?
Exactly what I said before, all of it. I think this applies to every single entrepreneur, is that you can have a destination, but you can never plan the journey.
What motivates you?
Telling stories.
What inspires you?
People's stories.
Okay. How do you define success?
By being able to wake up every morning and do what you love.
Okay. What's your greatest fear?
Waking up in the morning, and my greatest fear, of course, is, I think everyone's greatest fear is losing people you love, and that's from a personal perspective. From a professional perspective, I have a fear of what we've built and worked so hard for being taken away from me.
Okay, now you will have the chance to start your journey all over again. One thing you will change?
Absolutely nothing.
The same path?
If I could start my journey from day one, there is not a single thing that I would change, because every mistake, every stumble has led us to where we are today, and I'm alhamdulillah very, very content with it.
Okay, what's your favorite word? The most expressive word you always use?
Grit.
Again?
Grit. Okay. Grit. Everything in the world is possible as long as you have grit.
What brought you today to the Creative Industry Summit?
Just the opportunity to be able to be surrounded by so many exceptional minds within our industry.
What's the most exciting thing you saw today? other than me?
I mean, it's really not one thing. The spirit here is exciting, the energy is exciting.
Okay. How many employees do you have at your company?
About 200.
About 200. What kind of culture exists there?
So at MO4, we have a hashtag for the people who work with us, and we call them MO4 Misfits. And that's because it really is about the people who might not find a safe space for themselves in the rest of society, who think differently, who are different, who feel different about the world around them. They find a safe space at MO4 to explore who they are and to explore what they want to do without any limitations.
Would you call your office your home?
Wherever my children are is my home, but very, very soon behind that is my office, yes.
Okay. How does the design of your office affect your employees' productivity?
You'd have to ask them that.
Okay. How about your office, your own office?
So that's really interesting. Up until 3 months ago, I didn't actually have my own private space within my office. Finally, we kind of took the time and invested in creating a very sexy office for myself. And I never sit in it. I'm a media person, I'm a story person, and I like being in the heart of the newsroom.
Okay. How do you invest in your mental health?
Unfortunately, I invest too little in my mental health, but I have 2 hours every morning that are entirely my own. I wake up very early, around 6 in the morning, and between 6 and 8, I have my coffee. I read publications and newspapers from around the world. I have all of the apps on my phone. I then work out, have my shower, and I keep my phone switched off. When I get in the car around 7:30 in the morning, that's the moment where I switch my WhatsApps and start my day.
Okay. How do you see your office in the next 10 years?
I think I'm very proud of what we have achieved in Egypt. I believe that what we do is very, very different to anything else in the region. And what I'm hoping in the next year is that we can go big, not only regionally, but also globally.
What's the percentage of females versus males in your office?
So this is a very good question. Most of my departments are actually headed up by females. I think it's probably around 50-50, which is great that we have that balance. But I am a big believer in listening to the women and investing in them, because when you empower women, it's extraordinary what can be achieved.
Okay. What's the skill you're working on mastering in the time being?
I am working on mastering working for my business and not in my business.
Wow, this is exciting. Okay. Do you think there are certain characteristics or formula to become a successful entrepreneur?
Yes, there's literally one thing. There is no formula, there is no magic trick. You work hard. You have got to be the person who is always in the room working the very, very hardest, and it's as simple as that.
Nice. Okay, a piece of advice for your younger self.
So that's a really good question. My younger self showed to the world that she was very confident when in fact she was mostly just terrified and very insecure. And if I was to go back to my younger self, I'd tell her, you got this, you got this.
Nice. Amy, this was one of the most energetic interviews we've had.
Thank you, such a pleasure.
Thank you so much.